Hello, everyone. My name is Atkins Fleming. I am the treasurer for HETMA and the associate director of learning spaces at Texas State University. And today I have with me Mr. John Hewlin from Crestron. And I can't wait to learn more about what Crestron has going at InfoComm this week. So, John, introduce yourself. And
Sure, yeah. Thanks, Atkins. And it's nice to finally meet you again.
Yeah.
We've been exchanging emails and everything back and forth for so long, and all of a sudden we actually get to meet in person. It's terrific.
That's a great thing about InfoComm, right?
I was just about to say that. It's great. The show's been excellent so far. We have a booth in the central hall, and the traffic has been great, I'll tell you. I will say sometimes with the Crestron booth, that can be a double-edged sword because it gets so crowded sometimes you can't even get through. We got a really good flow this year, I think, and so it moves well. But I'll tell you one thing I'm really excited about is the center of the booth is about a story of how Crestron was used and integrated in Espai Barça, which is in Spain, their Spotify Camp Nou stadium, and like whole community built around it. They ended up choosing Crestron as their solution for meeting rooms and the pitch club and so on. And this is where, if any soccer fans, World Cup people out there watching, this is where FC Barcelona plays. And what's amazing is the scale of viewers and followers they have compared to many American sports. So this is a 105,000 seat stadium. And I like mentioning it, or wanted to mention it, on the EDU side, because I've worked with many colleges and universities in the past, and the AV groups are starting to get pulled into athletics.
It's true. It's true.
And so then they're coming to you and going, oh, well, we want this in the locker room area or the coach, viewing area. And all of a sudden you start seeing these spaces, and then the revenue generating spaces. Oh, well, when we're not having a game, why don't we let some corporate, user come in and sponsor an event here? So if you're interested, whether you see it on our website virtually or come by the booth, we do. I know paper seems a little weird, but sometimes it's nice not to stare at a screen.
Yeah, it's nice to take something home with you, right?
Yeah. But I also just feel like I can see a picture of myself and just the radiation of light from a screen, saying, and I don't use the muscles anymore to read. But so I'm excited about this. In the past, I've worked with the University of Notre Dame. I've worked with the Ohio State University and Allegiant Stadium.
They know something or two about stadiums, right?
One or two things about football stadiums, a different kind of football. So I'm excited about that. And again, that story kind of embodies our motto for this year, and even its outcropping of last year: content, collaboration, and control. So this idea that you need to get content from A to B and from B to A and everywhere else you need it. You need to enable collaboration, because that's what every company expects. But every school and the new learning models are about collaboration. And then control, you need to be able to manage it all and control, whether it's your support team being able to control how they manage support calls, or control of the room from a touchscreen or a button panel.
That's all important.
That's really what the story is around. And we could go into black boxes and so on, but my goal, and one of the things I love about HETMA, is just trying to show the importance of the AV group and the visibility that should be there. We have powerful tools. Displays and messaging have become king, it seems like, right? And so I feel strongly that our destiny is our own. We can reach out and grab it and get a seat at the table with the school architect, with the consultant, and we just have to be resourceful. Actually, InfoComm is a place one time I used as the excuse. There was a consultant, and I won't mention the company's name. It's not a bad thing, but and they weren't really allowed to talk to the AV group at the school
Yeah,
when they were doing
I've
a
heard of that.
project for the school. So I gently invited both of them to the same InfoComm booth tour.
Yep.
And it was just a beautiful meeting of the minds.
They could meet behind the scenes.
It was an accidental meeting.
Accidental. Well, that's a great way that Crestron can be a partner of higher ed, because you are, right there at the top of the call sheet for the consultants and the integrators. You've been doing it a long time, doing it at a high level. And sometimes maybe you guys in your positions can help bring us in on our side as the higher ed tech managers.
That's right. We have the opportunity to challenge whether it's integrators in a positive and helpful way, or challenge a consultant, or challenge the stakeholders on campus to say, why aren't you involving your main group who's going to support all this?
Yeah.
We have to look past today and what we might put in this box or that box.
Yep. I love it.
So, did you, I guess, should we talk a little bit more about
I think we have maybe a minute or so left. So you mentioned the word collaboration, and I think you meant people working together. But a lot of times these days when we hear collaboration, we think UC, collaboration platform. So if you want to talk just 2 seconds of product, what do you guys have exciting that's helping collaborate, virtually in the online meeting?
Well, we actually have rolled out a number of new products in January, right before the ISE show. And so those are the ones we're highlighting, but we've got a few extra things at the booth. AI has become just such a big buzzword, and that's all integrated. But I do feel like our Collab Compute is the not a sound bar, anything like that. This lives behind the display or in a lectern, and you can send your cameras to it, your mics to it, and so on. And it's the collaboration. It's the engine for whether it's your recording, your lecture capture, or for bringing in your meetings. Whether it's BYOD, and you can let the professor, the instructors choose their platform, or one of the standards, Zoom, usually the biggest.
Sure.
And so the Collab Compute's great, and it's a prelude, I think, of what's to come from Crestron.
Yeah.
And we took a long time, and we're a slow ship to turn with the supply chain and getting just everything back where we need to really innovate. And that's what we're, I think, focused on now. I think in the next 24 to 36 months, this product release roadmap that we have is going to be like the early days of DM for you guys who remember Crestron Digital Media. With the exciting products that are coming out.
That's awesome.
So I'm super excited.
Yeah, we can't wait to see it. That sounds great. Well, thanks, John, for joining us today and talk a little about Crestron and what you got going. So
thanks. It's my pleasure to be here, and I love what HETMA's doing, and just keep elevating the visibility of all of our AV groups at colleges and universities. So, and it looks like everybody's having fun in the happy hour.
Yeah, happy hour below us. If you can't hear it, that's what's going on. So, all right. Thank you.